Hi, hello. Hi, hello. It's Tim for Gudentama. I found this a while ago, actually. I don't remember when. Because it's been a while. But I am going to paint this, and we're going to see if it does, in fact, include all of the things that you need, like it claims it does. Yeah. I mean, it had better. I am going to be using a couple of my own brushes, too. Very specifically, because it's kind of... I feel like because you can buy paintbrushes at the dollar store, it's not really cheating to, like, pick them up while you're picking this up. Oh, this is also from Five Below, but that was louder than it should have been. This is also from Five Below, by the way. I put. This is the brush that it comes with. It's honestly average quality for these things. It might be a little bit... It's a little bit better than what you normally get in these things, but not... Obviously, it's not great. I had to schneep a little random stray hair because it was there and it was annoying me. And then it comes with your little tray and 4 colors of paint. Now, the way that they have you doing this is incredibly basic. And I'm going to not do it that way because I feel like making things more complicated on myself. Because the way that they have it is essentially a paint by numbers. Where you're just like, oh, these are your little oil bits, so you paint those yellow, and you paint Gudentama yellow, and this little raised bit is orange, and the rest of it is white. And I'm like, or I could make this more difficult on myself, as I am wont to do. So I'm going to attempt to do, like, slightly more shading and everything. I am going to only use the colors that they provide. But I'm going to try to do a little bit of shading. And, like, essentially make it look less flat. Because even though it is sculpted, making it look less flat is probably a good idea. Especially since Gudentama is barely raised out. Like, in this lighting, he looks far more raised out than he actually is. He is not even as tall as my pinky finger. Yeah. So, let's do that thing. And that is Gudentama. I think I got a pretty decent amount of shading in there, given that I only had 4 colors. They give you plenty of paint, by the way. Like, I barely made a dent in any of these. So they give you enough paint that if you really wanted to, you could use it for elsewhere, which I'm going to do because that's how artists are. It's going in my paint storage. But, oh, I forgot to turn the thing on. Alright, there we go. Alright, that is Gudentama. I think I got a pretty good amount of shading in this, considering I only had 4 colors to work with. They give you a carp ton of paint, by the way. So, like, they give you plenty that you can use this for other projects. Paint more Gudentamas. No, literally, this is, like, a very specific color palette. But I think I got a fairly good amount of shading in this. Because this is, not porcelain, but like concrete, essentially, whatever it is, whatever that craft concrete is called, where it's you pour it into the mold and it makes a thing. Because it is that, it does suck up paint a lot, so you end up needing more layers than you might think. Except the white. I didn't bother putting too many layers of white because it was literally just like a primer, essentially, to make it take the rest of the paint better. That being said, it is a good idea because they give you so much to go over the entire thing in the white, because that will mean that you won't have to do as many layers of the yellow when you get to it. I did do it a little bit differently because on the thing they have this weird little ridge, yellow, the darker instead of the lighter. But I feel like since I shaded the entire thing, it seemed a little bit redundant to make that also darker. That feels more like a shine bump double thingy. But anyway, I did end up going around and outlining Gudentama, which I kind of regret because none of my well, first of all, none of my paintbrushes are quite thin enough, or at least none of the ones that I felt like getting out for this cheap of a project. But also, number 2 was how thin and watery this paint is. It doesn't really work as well anyways, but it does kind of add to the cartoony aspect, so I guess that's cool. According to what they had, you're supposed to only put the black on the outline and then put the white everywhere else along the edge, and I'm like, that seems redundant. I'm just gonna paint the entire thing black and then put edges around it. If I really wanted to, I could clean this up better. They do give you enough paint that, like, I could remove this weird little bit of darker shading if I wanted to, and I could go around and fix all of these edges if I wanted to, and I might still just do that, but right now with everything wet, that's not going to happen. As a general thing, though, this is not bad. I do, in fact, enjoy this, and I think it was only $5. And honestly, most of what you're paying for is this, and also the fact that it's Sanrio. Let's not forget that there is an upcharge for anything that has a name brand attached to it. But other than that, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this, and I would highly recommend it. And I'm glad, because I do have one more of these. Although that one is a slightly more complex character, so I'm wondering how well it's going to hold up. Ew. So stay tuned for that. And I guess you'll see how well that goes. Until then, toodaloo.